Okay, in our last video we got the car all painted up, and now I got to finish up with the hood and the little shaker hood scoop thing and the upper trunk piece. But first I want to get the car shifted over to that side, so I got to go ahead and get these tires on, and so we can roll it around in here and set up some stands and start working on this stuff. Okay, I guess I can peel off the wrapping now. This is gonna come loose. I got it on there pretty good. Stuck in there. Doesn't quite want to come out. Okay, I still had a zip tie on that side. That's why I think it's so hard to get it off. See if this side comes out a little easier. Got it wrapped around the studs there. Oh, the whole car's coming. Well, at least we know the wheel bearings are good. Pull on a little piece of plastic and the whole car wants to count. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, looks pretty cool. Alrighty then. Okay, now that I got some room in here, I can go ahead and start getting these pieces cleaned up. And this one, a little bit rusty on the back side. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take the stripper tool, get in here and clean as best I can, then maybe use a wire wheel for the little nooks and crannies. So we're gonna get to work on that. I got the inside pretty well stripped down. There's a few spots here, but that's not rust, that's the factory brown primer on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start using the DA to strip this down. I don't want to use a stripper pad, it'll put gouges in it. So just gonna take my time and use the DA and see if we can gradually strip off all this old lacquer. We're getting there. I'm gonna have to get some new wire wheels because the ones I got ain't got much wire on them, to get down in these little pockets right here and some of the little more intricate places, to get all that cleaned up. But we're getting most of it stripped off, and we just keep at it. I think we'll get it all cleaned up real nice. It is pouring. I think I'm gonna just have to do time lapse. I can't hear anything. Okay, it's a couple of days later. Over the weekend, I got like flooded out of here. You can see the water line on some of the vehicles. It flooded about almost a foot deep, almost coming in the shop here. So I had to leave while I could get out before the front was flooded out completely. So I'm back on this project again. And I've got this trunk filler piece pretty well cleaned up, and now I'm going to move on to the shaker hood. I got the rubber seal removed from it. We're going to try to order a new one. And this metal part under here was really rusty, and I'm in the process of getting it cleaned up. I still got to get in here and clean all this up. And still got to get some little wire wheels so I can get in those little grooves and corners and stuff. So I'm going to start sanding down the outside, get some of this old lacquer paint off as much as I can, clean up all this old glue, and that way we can go ahead and start primering it and sanding it down and making it look good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get busy on that. Okay, it's a couple days later, and when I was sanding on this, I realized I'm never going to get all of the paint off up in here and here, and I decided to go ahead and use some paint stripper and try to get all of this off, even up here and all the little tight spots and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on and let it do its thing. Okay, I got this whole thing slimed up really good. This stuff works a lot better when you put it on really thick. So I'll let this set for a while, and meanwhile I got to do a little welding on the motor mounts for the Pontiac, and that'll give me something to do. Well, this is doing its thing. Okay, these nuts on the motor mount brackets, they're about ready to fall out, and especially difficult to get to, so I'm gonna put a couple little tacks on them to hold them in place. That one is completely falling out. I figure I might as well do it to both of them, even though this one is holding somewhat. It's very loose. So I'm going to get these tack welded up, clean them up, and paint them. Okay, now that I got these motor mounts all cleaned up and painted, I've got to clean up this slimy mess. It looks like it's pretty much ate away all the paint. I got it on there really thick. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these gloves on and see if we can wipe it all down. Okay, got all the gooey slime off of it. Wiped it down with acetone several times. Got the inside all wiped down good. So I gotta let that set for a little while, let that acetone all evaporate out. It kind of makes that primer a little gooey. Then we can sand it down really good and get some primer on it. But meanwhile, I'm gonna spray some etching primer on the inside of this filler piece since we got all the rust off of it, or most of it, and let that dry. Okay, now that this is dried out really good, I'm going to get some etching primer on this bare metal under here. Keep it from flash rusting. Okay, it's the next weekend, and after 3 weekends of rain, we finally got a sunny weekend. So I can go ahead and push the Trans Am out and get it out there where we're not going to get any overspray, and start working on getting these painted. Okay, I can still feel a few rough spots here and there, especially along the edges where I didn't get it blocked out really good. So I'm going to use some 320 and just knock down some of these spots that I know are going to be a little bit rough, maybe even make some orange peel. So I'm going to get this cleaned up. Okay, it might be hard to see on camera, but I got this one little spot here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this filled in, and I'm sure there's more, but sometimes you just don't see them until you start painting. But trying to get everything we can while it's still in primer. So I'll let that dry, sand it down, and look it over really good. Make sure there ain't any more that we can see now anyways, and hopefully it'll look good. Okay, I think we got that one filled in. Okay, I'm going to spray some rattle can on the bottom of these just to preserve them. That way, when I go to spray, I'll only have to do the top side. So, I'm going to get these sprayed down. Okay, I got these pieces out here in the sun drying really good, and looks like they're pretty much dried up. So I think I'll get them inside, flip them over, get them cleaned up, and we'll start painting. Okay, I get some of these little pitted spots sanded out. See if we can't get that smoothed out. Yeah. Little spots here and there, and just run the scuff pad over it. I can feel some kind of leftover residue from paint stripper. Let's see if we can't get it smoothed out and ready to throw on some base coat. Pretty smooth, just a little bit of roughness here and there. Alright, I think we're getting really close to getting this one ready. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, got a lint-free towel. Slightly dampened, and hopefully that'll pick up the dust. And we'll let this dry, and I think we're gonna be good. It's time to wipe down this hood and see if we can get all the dust off of it. Picking it up quite nicely. Okay, see if we can pick up the dust off this. Okay, we're ready to mix again. And I got an extra quart just in case we run out. And we'll see how far this goes. Probably about a quart in here. So, get this mixed up and start spraying. Okay, I'm going to put on a really dry coat. Just have some adhesion. Okay, let's see if we can get a really thick coat on here. Okay, I noticed I was missing this inside lip. Okay, my base coat's been drying for a couple hours and everything feels good and dry. So, got my clear mixed up. So we're gonna go ahead and start spraying on the clear. Okay, it's got a ton of little fish eyes in it. So I think what I'm going to do is just put a bunch of layers of clear on there. Later on, when it's really good and cured, I can sand it all down, put a couple coats of base, and then respray it. And you know, that's the good thing about the hood. You can always unbolt it and repaint it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a bunch of layers on here. Okay, got about 5 coats of really thick clear on it. It's got some trash in it and fish eyes, but I got enough on there to where later on I can take DA over it, smooth it out. It'll help fill in some of the little scratches and whatnot. Run another layer of base coat on it and then re-clear it. So other stuff come out pretty good. And I think I'm going to leave the Trans Am out there so it can sunbake. And this is about where I'm going to end this video. Next time around, I think maybe we can start putting the motor back in. That'd be fun. Well, we appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you next time.